The air, and I am here to tell you, yes, I am here, I am here, I am here. And for those of you who wondered where I was last week, I went home. I ran home for a very important reason. And guys, let me tell you something. Today is a very important day because you know Miss Nashika is not usually on the Super Jams app, and you usually can't look in and watching on the app. But today I wanted you to be able, if you have the app, to jump on to this lively conversation, because I have a special guest with me in the studio today, right? I have none other than Mrs. Kerry-Ann Carnegie. That's how you go, right? You go, yes. Baker Carnegie.
No, just Carnegie.
Mrs. Kerry-Ann Carnegie. And I invited her here today so we can have lively conversation. So Kerry-Ann Carnegie is the host of
the Global Healthcare Conference.
But before that, Conversations with Kerry.
Yes, Conversations with Kerry.
Right?
Yes.
So I have, for those of you who are on YouTube and you've heard of Conversations with Kerry, I have Miss Kerry-Ann Carnegie here in the studio with me today. But the reason why she took me away from you guys last week, blame her, don't blame me, I'm just saying. You have to blame her, not me, right?
Very good reason.
For a very good reason, because we just had a global healthcare conference in Jamaica. And this is not new. You guys have been doing this global healthcare conference a few years now.
Yes.
But people, let me tell you something. What was different this year is because of Hurricane Melissa. Yeah. And let me tell you, Kerry, you know, she normally have it in Kingston.
Yes, at the conference center.
In Kingston at the conference center. And this year, she took it to the country. Mm-hmm. She took it to this beautiful little country called Siloah.
Yes.
And it was for a very good reason why she took. So she had all of us come down to Jamaica and go country, okay?
Rough road and everything.
No. Me got to be honest with you now. Well, the road I took, because I went up from Clarendon and I took the Mile Gully route. Thank you very much. Because listen, people, none of us in the car knew where Siloah was. So let me tell you the story. Right? Kerry decided that she was going to move this conference to Siloah. And I totally love the reason why. Because Hurricane Melissa came through. You tell us the story why you decided. First of all, before we go into why, tell us what is the Global Healthcare Conference? How did this idea start for you?
Okay, so you know, I'm in healthcare and academia, and so I realized that there was a deficit dealing with employees, and as a director of education for a hospital, I noticed that a lot of the issues that came up were not personality related nor skills related. Mm-hmm. It is them dealing with issues.
Right.
So I started doing some research. So I started learning more about mental health and how it affected job performance and everything. And then as I continued, so I started doing Conversations with Kerry, and if you go back like 10 years, you would see little snippets from conferences where I'd speak with different mental health professionals, etc.
Right.
So moving forward, I also recognize a gap with the transition between academia and actual healthcare practice, and especially leadership. Mm-hmm. Because most nurses, they take them from the bedside, give them a little orientation and put them into leadership. But
tell me about it.
Yeah, there's a big gap.
Promote you into failing, right?
Right. And so I started I started doing little seminars, etc. And that's what evolved into the Global Healthcare Conference. And we dedicate the first day to mental health. Mm-hmm. The second day is regarding technology, innovation, and that integration into healthcare, because technology is growing a big part, and with AI, etc. So, and I think it's very important for us to keep abreast in healthcare with the emerging technologies. And actually that came out of a conference that I attended maybe about 15 years ago, where this gentleman made a presentation, and it said it takes about 7 years for technology to transition into healthcare. So healthcare is always 7 years behind when it comes to innovation.
Right.
So I decided that we wanted innovation and technology to be a part of this conference to help to give a person a lead, jump into it. And then, of course, the third day is healthcare leadership.
Okay.
And so we've maintained that structure, healthcare, innovation, leadership, with the conference. So that's how it came up. So it's an evolution, really, that blossomed into the healthcare conference.
So you were planning the conference for 2026.
Yes.
With the same model.
Right.
Mental health, innovation, and then leadership.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And you were planning it for Kingston, Jamaica.
The
same location, everything.
Right. I was going for this thing, the 3-peat.
The 3 what?
The 3-peat.
Okay.
And the conference center.
Okay.
Because it was the first time in Jamaica, and they're like, establishing it at a stable place is important. So year 1, okay, great. Year 2, it showed success. But if you can repeat it the 3rd time, then it's established, and then it's advised, then you can move. And so yes, we were planning it for the conference center for 2026.
Okay.
Right.
And then we had a little visitor. And the little visitor kind of changed and, kind of propelled how you pivoted the conference.
Right.
So who was our little visitor?
This woman, you see, came out of nowhere, at the bottom of the ocean.
A little woman from the bottom of the ocean.
Named Melissa.
No, hold up now. Based on somebody we listen to on this station sometime.
Yeah.
This little woman, she not just come to Jamaica sign up, because the joke is, and I use it at the conference, a man must did come and get a green card from a woman named Melissa, and she left him. And him come back to Jamaica with a raft.
Yes.
So this little woman named Melissa come meet Jamaica in October.
And mash up the place.
Mash up the place.
Let me tell you, it's very hard to describe to anyone the devastation.
Were you in Jamaica during the hurricane?
No.
But you went down shortly after?
I went down as soon as they opened flights.
Okay.
I got a one-way ticket, I went down.
Wait, hold up. You live in America?
Yes.
But you get a one-way ticket for go Jamaica?
Yes.
That means so you're never sure if you'll come back?
I wasn't sure when or how, because I couldn't get a hold of my mother and my father, who are divorced and live in separate places, nor my stepmother.
Okay.
So I wanted to make sure I put eyes on them first, and I didn't want to give myself a deadline for that. Yes.
Okay.
So that's why.
So you heard that Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica. You decided that you were gonna go on a search and rescue mission.
That's right. Personal search and rescue.
You decided you were gonna go on a personal search and rescue mission to try to find your mother, your father, and your stepmother.
Yes, ma'am.
Did anybody go with you, or you just...
No, just
you just put on your water boot and charge out by yourself?
Not just that, I carry my power saw and my solar battery. And so a friend of mine told me, bring a mosquito repellent. I was like, what is that? And let me tell you, I didn't bring mosquito repellent, but I sent for it real quick.
Kerry, you're brave. So let me ask you, you have military background?
No.
So you just knew that something terrible happened in Jamaica and you're gonna go find your loved ones.
Yeah.
So how soon after the hurricane you actually touched ground?
November 8th.
November 8th. Yeah. And that was when they started taking in commercial flights?
Yes.
And you went with your saw? So did you speak to mommy before you got there?
I got to speak with her about 2 days prior.
Okay,
but my ticket was already booked.
But so you meant business?
Yes.
All right.
And my sister was able to give me a description.
Come closer to the mic so the people can hear you.
Yes, my sister was able to give me a description of what had
Wait, hold up. Is that Brata Backyard?
Brata Backyard. When she told me the whole yard mash up, all the Brata Backyard building flat. Like,
So people, if you're not, so I met Brata Backyard this past week, and Brata, she have a TikTok? is that a TikTok? She have a TikTok, and I think
and Instagram.
And,
and,
so look it up, people. It's called Brought a Backyard.
yes.
Okay. So and they went to show. She asked, when we went to Mandeville and picked her up, she said, "Did y'all see Brought a Backyard? Did you see it?" So we're laughing about this, people, and we can laugh about it now. And I tell you what, there are things about it that we should not be laughing about, right? Because as we continue this conversation, we're going to talk about, first of all, I can't tell you how proud I am of Kerry. This is a global health conference where she has persons coming from all over the world.
Yes.
And she usually does it and hold it in Kingston. And because the bad girl, Melissa, came through and devastated the western part of Jamaica. And, we're talking about Siloah. And for some persons who do not know, Siloah is in St. Elizabeth, right, Jamaica. And, persons may hear about Black River, but Siloah is further inland.
Right.
And if you know the path of the hurricane, it came up and went straight across land into Trelawney and then exited the island in Trelawney.
Right.
So all those areas were the areas that Hurricane Melissa went through.
And destroyed.
Yeah. And, she has a global exposure through her conference that she's been hosting for years, a couple of years now. Yeah. And decided rather than have the conference in Kingston, which people, let me tell you, logistically would have been so much easier for us.
Oh, yes.
Right? Because like I was telling you guys, like we who were going up, like my driver had no clue. I forgot giving her the story, because it's really funny.
Yes.
And let me say shout out to Daddy, right? My daddy who used to run the roads at Jamaica. Knew exactly where Siloah was. Wow. Right? Well, I'm going to tell you, Daddy knew exactly where it was. And, leading up to it, Daddy was telling us, like, this is where and stuff like that. But my driver, who is a taxi man in Jamaica, had never been up there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, we found our way.
Yeah.
But just like how you took off with your son, everything in quest of your family, we took off in quest of you guys.
Yeah.
And people, when I come back from the break, I'm gonna tell you what we found inside. I am so in love. I was speaking to Kerry earlier today, and I said to her, I'm giving her all kind of ideas about things to do in Siloah because we fell in love. We fell in. As you guys know, I'm Jamaica. I was in Jamaica twice this year already, within the past 12 months, right?
Yeah.
But coming down to Siloah, when I tell her, say, my fall in love with Jamaica. People, the Jamaican people is awesome.
They are awesome.
They're awesome. They're in need of us. But they're awesome. So people, we're going on our first commercial break. I can't believe it already. So we're going to go on the first commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dive into more the reason why you decided to take this conference out of Kingston, where it would have been so easy for us.
Easier.
And get us to go into middle Jamaica, because that's exactly where it was.
Yeah.
All right? People, right after the break, will be back to explain and explore why this is so important. Soon come.
This song reminds me of the villa.
Oh. Let's see. So we have 3 adverts, and then we'll go back. And you can talk about why you took it to Siloah, talk about the devastation, the fact that persons are, I was telling somebody that people are not seeing things anymore. So we're going to,
I didn't even get a chance to go around to the basic school.
Yeah.
Because, we got them zinc and some material to fix that. But they still have like the new back to sick bay and principals office. This hurricane twisting it around. This hurricane is no joke. The YouTube stream get the commercials. The YouTube stream gets the commercials. You know what?
So we have 20 seconds, 27 seconds. I don't know why it says minutes, but seconds. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back here in the studio, and before I jump back into the conversation that we were having, so you're listening to Miss Nashika on the Super Jams Radio Live. The number to call in is 561-449-8000. Or you can watch us on the app, listen to us on the app. And let me tell you people, today is the day you want to listen to us on the app. Because I think this may be the first, and maybe quite the only show that Miss Nashika has where we have a live on the app. And I'm doing it because I have none other in the room with me than the one and only Kerry-Ann Carnegie with Conversations with Kerry. And we are speaking about our recent trip to Jamaica. And the reason why we actually took this trip down there to Jamaica. And, before I jump back into the conversation with Kerry, I just want to say in the chat, I see you, Fabulous. I see you. Listen, just so Fabulous, me have to tell you, that money was she win last night at the Luciano concert. By the way, people, if you missed the Luciano concert last night, when I tell you you missed an amazing event, Luciano, everybody showed up and showed completely out. The DJ was lit. The band was lit. Me no know where Luciano get him energy from, God, a man, they're a man for me, a child. Right? And that man stay upon, and when him do the footy shaky something, and let me tell you something, people, the man give us a show last night. Let me tell you, the show was worth more than what we paid for the show. Right? Then him run off of the stage, and then him come back and give us a totally, when we say give us a totally second show, it's like him have a intermission. Him run off of the stage, right? And you think the show done. And then my daughter, she was a Luciano song, said, Mommy, he didn't play all of his song, I said, no. And she said, him never play which song she mentioned he didn't play. So I'm like, okay, baby, okay. So maybe I'm gonna run back on stage and play one more song. And maybe that's going to be the song that he's going to play. Because sometimes they come off and then come back out with one.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Luciano come back out on the stage and put on a totally new concert.
Wow, a whole new set.
A whole new set. But let me tell you, after that done, people never know say a church them a go. Because I tell you, say a church in the concert with all of the old time. Remember we used to go to church with Granny?
Yes.
And you play the little song them. And when the spirit take life in a church and church can't finish a song a play. I tell you, say we have church last night at the end of the Luciano concert. It was, so God bless if you're listening to me, right? Let me tell you, I will support you 100%. as long as we bring events like this to Palm Beach County. Well, let me tell you, grown folks thing, my daughter was probably the youngest one in the room,
Wow, that's awesome.
Mature grown folks thing. I want to tell you, say, Mr. Palm Beach, what I never seen in years. Like, I just walk and hug up my parents, them friend. Like, oh my God. So I see like all my parents friend them.
Yeah.
And like, my walk and hug up. People know me for me a picnic,
Yes, yes.
So it was good to see people that have known me through the years as a kid and grown up and now me and them a party together because, so me I touch age myself. Right? Me I touch age myself. But so Kerry, we are having this conversation because first of all, you have this amazing conference, a global health conference, where people, let me tell you, next year make sure you're not there, okay? Just saying, like, awesome global health conference. But you made that decision to take this conference out of Kingston.
Yes.
And when I tell you you had persons attending from Canada, from England, from other Caribbean island, from America. You even had somebody that was coming over from Africa but had some US visa issue.
Yes.
Right? Let's not blame it on Jamaica. This is totally US visa issue. People, if you think the environment is not affecting a lot.
It does.
It does,
really
right?
does, yeah.
But you also had persons who attended streaming, right? So
yes.
Not only was it an in-person conference, person had the options to attend virtually, which I think is great because I usually participate in the COO conference.
Yeah.
It's a global health conference also, but it's a continuum of universities for global health. And we have persons, like about 80 something countries represented. And that's why I said to you, I want to see that grow.
Yes.
Right? I want to see that grow. Because can you imagine a global health conference in Jamaica represented by 80 something countries?
That would be awesome.
And all these different universities. So the COO conference, I just remember one that they had, and I try to go in person usually. But they have one that 1 year, and this is just amazing how COVID has, shrunk the world with the internet.
Yes.
And I'm on this conference that was taking place in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Wow.
And all over the world, persons were attending from. And I remember Zoe Mullen was on it, and Zoe Mullen is the editor for The Lancet.
Oh
yes,
really?
honey. Yes, okay.
Yes.
And fast forward the following year, I attended it, I think in Washington, D.C. And listen, I'm walking through the hallway in the hotel, and I saw her, and I'm like, I know you. Like, I go up and Zoe, like, I know you. And I said, yeah, we were listen to me with my bride self. We were at a conference in Johannesburg. Might I add, I was in my suit from the top up and my pajamas from the bottom down in the comfort of my office.
Yes.
And God knows where she was in the world, but she was there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I was telling her what she was speaking about, and that's how I got my Lancet Connect, okay? Because now we're friends.
Yes.
But that's what, when I say to you, that's what I want to see and some of the ideas. Because and these things started small and has evolved and grow. And can you imagine Jamaica pulling these international? You've already started because you've had several countries represented at this conference. Yes. But what was great about your conference and your idea, because of Melissa, you took it away from the urban area, from the conference, and you took it home.
Yes.
Because you wanted persons on a global level to see what still the devastation is in Jamaica following Melissa. Right?
So what struck me when I first landed in Jamaica on November 8th was that in Kingston, it was business as usual. And we drove through Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, and everything seemed normal.
Big up Clarendon, all the Caledonian them. So I come from Maypen, because Maypen and a playpen. All right.
Yes, and so when you hit Spur Tree, there's where you start seeing the devastation. But there was
Spur Tree that I was at?
yeah,
Really?
like right. So as you come down, a lot of repairs were done there because it's a main thoroughfare. All right, but if you look on the side of the road, on the left-hand side, you will still see evidence that something major happened there, right? But then, as you went further down into Goshen, it was lights out. Lights out. No light at all. So, they have little pictures. I did an episode on Conversations with Kerry where I showed the before and after with the lighting grid in Jamaica. And before Melissa, after Melissa, and then after they've said that 99% is restored. So you see that picture too. Right, and the devastation was just great. The leaves were stripped. It was like somebody literally dropped a bomb and blew up everything. And I mean, everything looked like it was burnt. The trees looked burnt. Buildings that were damaged by water looked burnt. And I just couldn't understand it. And when you look on the forestation, it looked parched. It was amazing that water came through, but it looked like it was. If anybody watched Gotham, one of those old-time movies, that's how it looked like. They've just blown up that section of Gotham, and it was just dark and
you with your saw heading for mommy.
That's right. Cut her out of anything she needs to be cut out of, right? And so while I was there, people were in shock. When I got there, people were still in shock. They lost everything. But what happened is, when you hear someone tell you, okay, lucky thing it happened in the daytime. Okay, but now comes night, and you have nowhere to sleep. And even if you had a roof, a part where, everything is like wet. So it's like, how do you sleep? A lot of people said they just like stood up leaning on the wall, and, for days they couldn't sleep because even if they had like those persons with decks, you had like tons and tons of people coming in, but they were wet. They didn't have anything to like put on, and you don't have enough. So when we went down there with clothes and everything, and even I went back in. Okay, so when I came back, because we had stopped the planning of the conference, right? So like, should we continue or not? And for me, if we're going to continue, it has to be in St. Elizabeth. We need to help the people in St. Elizabeth. We need to re-stimulate the economy because businesses were destroyed, the farms were destroyed, and it's a real farming district. So the farms destroyed, businesses destroyed, persons are looking to say what next. Appleton, the schools, and the post office are the only industries in that area from the get-go. So with those destroyed, persons are, because even the schools were destroyed, right? And so after months, still nothing. As a matter of fact, someone called me and said, because, we have volunteers, and then with Silas at the estate, he said because he knew of he's a member of the group in Siloah that helped me with the logistics and the catering, etc. So he felt the push to at least get his business into a fair state where he could accommodate us. And since October, some of the employees there, is the first time they've earned an income just
from this conference.
Just this conference. And now the conference is over, what's going to happen?
Right.
So, and a lot of persons speaking to them, they just don't understand. So I said, well, I can't really explain. It's very hard to explain. So I want you to come and see. Come and see. So we decided to do it. And even to the last minute, it was scary because it's like, how are you going to find a space where your guests going to stay, things like that. Like, it's going to happen even if we're going to sleep
with a lot of prayers.
Yes,
Listen,
lot of prayers.
Let me tell you something. I don't even think you remembered when you said this, right? So initially my plan was to fly into Mobay, go straight to Siloah, then fly right out of Mobay, come back to the US, right?
Right.
And my plan initially was just to go for the 3 days of the conference, right? because I wasn't gonna go down a yard. Quite honest, I wasn't. And it's funny because they know, because like there's another thing that's coming up, and my cousin was saying to me, you most likely are gonna just fly in a mobile and then fly out, and then we're gonna hear so you did the Jamaica, because that's how I do it, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, this is the first time I've spent an entire week in Jamaica. I'm usually like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday girl.
Right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday girl. Fly out Thursday, spend 2 days, fly out Sunday, and that's it, right? And let me tell you, people, it's a different vibes by being there that long, right?
Yeah.
So that was my initial plan, to just do what I do, fly in for the conference. My presentation was going to be the last day, which I knew it was going to be the last day.
Yeah.
So I figure I will fly in Tuesday or Monday night, come down to Siloah, stay at the guest house that you were preparing for us,
Right.
and then fly right out, because you had logistically you had it awesome. Like, you had transportation to pick us up from the airport, you had everything for us there in Siloah, those that were doing the presentation.
Right.
So that was my plan. But like I said, my dad knows the area, and my dad knows that we up.
And that's why Siloah is up,
Right.
forgotten.
Listen.
Even by the government, they get
No,
forgotten
it's
sometimes.
way up. And that's what Daddy was like, if I talk to my mom, like, yo, when Nashika, no, one away I to go. I'm like, y'all, if y'all only knew how much me and my sister leave this country, y'all don't even know, right? And so I decided, rather than do that route, but I was gonna tell you one of the things you said. I remember when you were sorting out the rest, the where we were gonna stay,
Yeah.
and I said to you, well, what if it book out? And you said, well, you can just come stay with me. And you were alluding to the fact that the place had been damaged.
Yes.
It now got ideal.
Right.
And I said to you, yo, me do mission trip all the time.
Yes,
Ain't no big
yes,
deal.
Yes, I remember that conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
So then I pivoted and I said, okay, let me just go down, and since my parents, I'm kind of worried that I go up let me go down, bring my mom, go down a yard, spend some time down a yard, come up a country to you, and then come back down a yard and leave, do the Kingston side, right?
Right.
And let me tell you, I think that's a blessing that I did that, right? Because just like you were saying, now you were talking about November the 8th, going through Kingston and St. Catherine and all.
Right.
And for me, this was just last week, right?
Yeah.
And going through Kingston, being down in Maypen a couple of days, and, climbing a couple of days, and then taking the trip up. And we took the Mile Gully. We call we got to a point we don't know. We know, so we need to go middle of the island.
But
and
you didn't know it's so deep.
Listen, as a former cadet and a scout, so if you check the atlas, it's either one or two things.
Yeah.
We're gonna either head north and run off of the island,
Oh no.
or we're gonna find it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we call back a daddy and say, yo, daddy. Which road for turn pan? And daddy, remember?
Oh wow.
Listen to me. But when you said, because he gave us different routes, and we used to take Mile Gully, right? And we said, okay, Mile Gully where though? And we take the Mile Gully route. And we're coming up, just seeing the scenery and the changes. I cannot even imagine what it would have looked like right after the hurricane. Because the thing that gave me some peace was seeing green. Because I know when I saw the pictures, what I was seeing. And when I saw green, that means that things are coming back. But even in the midst of the green, what I kept taking note of, because, people, me nyam my way through Jamaica last week. Me eat. Like the pit of them say, Jamaicans love pinyam. Right? And I took all bag juice me I eat.
What?
Yeah, but listen to me. Me I saw it, me I saw bag juice,
Soak.
Like the fruits on the road.
Yes, I love that.
The soup, the spur tree, goat soup, turn up. Okay? But it wasn't lost on me that there were certain things that they couldn't get.
Yeah.
Because it's not back yet. Like we can't get ackee.
Right.
I couldn't get no ackee. I couldn't get no breadfruit.
Right.
And St. Elizabeth is the bread basket of Jamaica.
That's right.
Right? We get rice.
Yes.
We know plenty rice. We get plenty rice.
Bully bee.
We get plenty rice.
Tuna.
Yes, because we have tuna sandwich one day. Yes. So those stick people, we're making fun of it, but the things you guys are sending makes a difference.
Yes,
because like the ground provision,
they're not there yet.
it's not there.
Yeah.
And you got to think that, in certain communities, farming was very big. That is the source of food.
Right.
Not only for the St. Elizabeth area, but also for Jamaica.
Right.
And it wasn't lost. I mean, it's not a ground provision fan. We get flour, fried dumpling.
Right. Yes.
Me get fried.
Still about.
Me get fried dumpling.
Yeah.
So much fried dumpling.
Yeah.
Right? But ground provisions like yam, banana, and those stuff is not there.
No fruit.
So it's not even because you can't buy it. It's not there to be purchased.
Yeah.
So that wasn't lost on me. And I'm not a ground provision fan. Yeah. But when they're yard, you don't want to have some ground. Like me did really want some fried breadfruit. Yeah. You know when you roast it and then you fry it?
Oh yes, I love
it.
Especially the butter one.
Listen to me, I did really want some. Because me tell you, I eat my way to me literally have the pictures of everything when I eat.
What?
Some of the food them I forget to take picture of because I did too greedy. So after I finish eat it, then I realize I never take the picture.
Yeah.
But that wasn't lost on me.
Yeah.
So you think about the farmer that used to go market from St. Elizabeth and them not have no food for go. It's one thing for not have food for feed your own family, but you don't even have the food to get money, to earn money, to even think about starting to rebuild. Right? Yeah. So that's why, Kerry, let me tell you, you bring in this conference, and you make a point a while ago, say, the conference was the first time a lot of people worked.
Yes.
And now that the conference is over, then what? Because Appleton is the estate that's, by the way, people, it's right around the corner from Appleton Estate, the Rum Tour.
Right.
But a great majority of Appleton was destroyed.
Right, so there are no more productions taking place.
And then none at all? Appleton done?
Appleton done.
No. Hold on now. Wait a second here. When you say Appleton done temporarily?
Well, the information I got is that the only thing going on right now is a tour and maybe some administrative stuff. Because the physical structure was also destroyed.
But hold on a second there. This is over 300-year plantation.
Yes.
It can't done just so.
Well, my cousin,
No, but one thing I noticed though, and we cousin, because by the way, people, we adopt everybody in a silo. That is another story.
Mother,
that is
uncle.
Uncle. I have 3 uncle down a silo. I have 3 uncle down a silo. What I tell you, say. I have some cousins down there now. I tell you, I adapt the whole community me related to. Listen, man. But when we were driving with cousin, right? One other thing, and I was talking to somebody today, and I was telling them about the trip and things that I was able to do and not do, because I had the intentions of touring Black River. Of course, I'm involved with some project with Maypen Hospital. And I was telling them we couldn't tour Black River because of the rain. Right? And getting there. And I was telling them that even driving on the road, some places are still having a lot of water.
Yeah.
And on the side of the road, what would be dry is now swamp.
That's right.
Because the water is still there. And one of the spots that we found, my mom said, so what if somebody had bought that land to build a house? And I jokingly said to my mom, well, they would have a nice lake. Yeah, they would own a lake.
Yeah.
Because cousin was saying that some of the areas still has not dried out since the hurricane.
That's right. And there's rain. There's still having rains almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
And even the river, the Black River, overflows.
That's the sugar cane.
Right. And so it comes all the way out to the main road.
Yeah.
So that road is the main thoroughfare to go to like Williamsfield and Aberdeen and Quickstep and so on.
Mm-hmm.
They can't drive that way.
Right.
They have to take the longer road.
We actually had to take one evening. We were going back down to, because we ended up having to stay in Spur Tree because the home that we were gonna stay in, Siloah, was not available. Yeah. So one of the routes that we came up in the morning, we could not go back that direction. We had to take the long way because of the rain and the ground already saturated. So now the water that is over on the side of the road has now come over onto the road. Right. So it wasn't safe to pass. So we had to take the long way around. Right. But when we were having the conversation specifically about the sugar plantation, and talking about do they have like tractors or whatever to cut the sugar cane, and they're like, no, sometimes men still, I'm say in this day and time man still cut sugar cane like that. Yes. And he's like, yes, but then we're like, but how can they even do it, because it's all flooded, so they would have to be cutting in the swamp.
Yeah, it's not possible.
It's not. And then when the cane is so water saturated, what kind of quality of cane will you be getting?
That's right.
So that is just, and this is the big Appleton.
Big Appleton.
So if big Appleton is struggling like that, what say the little man with his farm?
Right. Yeah. Everywhere you turn, you see swamps. And so a lot of livestock were also lost. Mm-hmm. So not only the farm, but livestock, birds, so eggs for breakfast, eggs for various foods and baking.
You know what? Me never get no egg none at all at Jamaica. Now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't have any eggs down there.
Yeah, the eggs. I mean, for example, Ted from Salas, he had like 1,200 birds that gave eggs, and he provided eggs to the supermarkets in Santa Cruz, Black River, etc. He lost every single one.
Wow.
All the birds, all the bird houses, he lost everything. There's a neighbor of mine that I get eggs from, and she said,
no eggs. It just dawned on me that I did not see or did not have any eggs while I was down there. Yeah. I mean, like I said, we had callaloo. Yeah. I guess it's like quick crop that can come quickly. Yes, so we had callaloo, and we had a lot. Listen, people, brown stew chicken for breakfast, curry chicken for breakfast. The food tastes good up a country, me not lie you, it tastes different, right?
It's
but
real.
Listen, it tastes so fresh and different up there. And my gosh, can you imagine that, Kerry? We're coming up on another break. What? So we have a break every 30 minutes, right?
Oh, wow.
Every 30 minutes, they give me some time to refresh my hydration. Yes. And we have another break coming up. So when we come back from the break, we talk about what can be done to bring awareness to Siloah, and what are some of the projects that may be coming up.
Yes.
All right. Soon come, people. see any water. No water if you want.
Papa will let me salad it.
Crystalberry.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so before we went on our break, we were talking about Middle Jamaica, and we're specifically speaking about Siloah, St. Elizabeth, but it could be anywhere in Middle Jamaica that was affected by Hurricane Melissa. And we know that since the passage of the hurricane, we've seen a lot of mobility, right, going toward Jamaica from international countries, from members of the diaspora. And we see a lot on the television, but what we're starting to see is it's almost as if we're forgetting on the global stage that Melissa hit and devastated Jamaica, right? And, when you think about it, half of the island was affected. The entire Cornwall was affected by the hurricane, right? If you guys don't know, we have 3 counties: Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. So the entire western side of the island was affected. St. Elizabeth, there are areas of Manchester as well. But we passed Content.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, we went. Yes, we went through Content, Manchester, and we saw that house that was completely covered.
Yes.
After the hurricane, this was after the hurricane when the water table started rising.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it was something to see that. Oh my God, persons were there.
Right.
So Manchester was affected, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, Trelawney, St. James, and portions also of St. Anne's, was affected either we know pre-storm we had some effects in St. Thomas.
Right.
Yes. But during the storm and post-storm, that was the area of the island that was severely affected. But Kerry, who's from Siloah, decided to take her global health conference that is usually held in Kingston to Siloah. So one, to stimulate the economy, but 2, so persons can see and be aware that there are areas in Jamaica still affected by the hurricane.
Right. And people who are still suffering.
And let me be honest with you. I don't think I shared this with you, Kerry. But when I entered Siloah.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Siloah?
Yeah.
Oh, because before me used to say silo.
Oh no.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
Me used to say silo
Yeah.
until me spend a week in Siloah.
Yeah.
When I was entering, one of the conversations we were having was like, oh my God, the MP must have take care of that area here. Because the way how it clean, the way the road look.
Yeah.
So all the whole 3 days I was there, I actually thought another a good representation and I get take care of very well and everything, right? Only to hear at the end.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say I think we have good representation. But they're limited, and I think we all understand that.
Okay. So only to hear at the end that because the councilman came and spoke, and we can definitely see that if he has it, he's gonna do it because his heart is there.
Right.
The whole people, the whole community people, nice, right?
Yeah.
But when we hear that the work and the cleanup and everything that makes Siloah look the way it looks is not because of government intervention. It's because people like you go down with your oxa to rescue mommy.
Yes.
And the community came out and did all that work.
Yeah. The community every day. First, they focused on the essential thoroughfare, okay, and then they started literally cleaning there. And people, they would go, okay, today we're gonna do this street, and then this street, and then that's the way they did it. To clean it up. And if you go around and I wish we had more time, we could show you that even though the JPS came and restored light in the general areas, they still left their pieces of their debris there, like the pole that fell. It's in some places it remains because the people didn't move it yet. And even like what they call it, where the power comes through those big things.
Transformer?
Right, they're still there. Like on the side of some roads still. So it wasn't people that came together, spent their own monies, because one of the things you have to be aware of is Siloah it was not a rich community. We had people there who from generation to generation built on what the generation before left behind. So the community looked rich, but there was not a lot of income in terms of financial wealth. But people lived happily. Houses are nice and everything, right? And so they're accustomed to a certain quality of life that when Melissa tried to take it away, they were like, nope, they're not going to take everything,
So there's pride in the community,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And people, I can definitely tell you that from what I saw, right? And it's not just Main Street alone, not just Town Square, because I'm telling us that we go brought a backyard because one of the uncle that we adopted wanted us to come around, and so we go through the lane and go around the corner and go through, and we see the homes, we see the pride in the community, right? And one of the other things about your community, Kerry, that was so impactful for me, and I keep talking about it, right? I said it to you today, nobody not beg you nothing. Nobody not beg. And it's so different because as soon as we landed in Jamaica and we hit Clarendon, the first person we were running on beg you $1,000 now. They might tell you how much they want to, And when we left Upper Siloah, Upper Country, and come back to Clarendon, dead stranger. I said, them know so how them even know so where I come from foreign? I don't understand. Like dead stranger. We got tour up at the hospital and I come back. Right out of the hospital, them a beg with money. And I think about it and I'm like, you're so not even get hit. And we're coming from a place that was devastated by the hurricanes, and not one person, not one of them would have said dege person. No say beg you at this. I mean, say Kerry must have trained them very well. Because I'm being honest with you. Never had that experience. I said Kerry must have trained them very well. I said no, but I beg you for them.
No, but I did have to say that's how they are, and you never know.
But they're so friendly, and so kind, and so giving, and they don't even have that last day at the closing sermon when you told me that persons are not working because all the industry has been destroyed. I'm like, so where them get this resilience from?
They have a lot of hope. They have a lot of hope that things will come back. You see the house is devastated. There are persons who still have nowhere to sleep. They're staying with friends, and it's unfair, I think, even for the people who are putting them up to have to put up with, a stranger. Well,
ain't nobody a stranger in Siloah. I'm sorry, that's whole family right there. I adopted them.
So what I'm saying, having to be on call, but everyone was affected, and so even the place that they're staying, it's not like they're okay. They need help also,
right?
But they're not going to let their brother, their family member, even if it's a neighbor, sleep outside. But there are some persons who go back and one of the things that we need to shift from is now persons are putting up shed where whatever they can get to cover. One of the things that happened after the hurricane was that persons took up whatever zinc they could find, straighten it up, and put it back on their roofs. But if you go in their house and look up, you see the little holes.
The warp and the holes.
Right, and when rain falls, then water is coming in still. And so but we know the help is not, everything's not going to happen one day. But the help must continue. We have to continue to see progress. Persons need to still know that they're not forgotten, and so on. We had 12 volunteers, and some of them don't have a house. Some of them living in, sleeping in shops, because, big, beautiful house, 2-story, 3-story house, and it's gone, and you wonder, what about, the decking area? Now, back in the day, not all deck areas were concrete. Okay, so your roof is gone, water soaks through the wood, it goes all the way down. Some persons, they put up tarpaulin, and then they had a freak storm. And I don't know if you could look and see some of the roofs where the tarpaulin are twisted up like this, right? So they still can't, be in their homes.
So you have two things, because you have the College of Health and Allied Development, and you also have Parish Ground.
Right, Parish Ground Global Ministries Inc.
Right. Now, I think I learned while I was down there that Parish Ground is a name of a little place as well, right? So you have Broughton Backyard, you have Parish Ground, right? So at first when I saw the name, I'm like, okay, Parish Ground. But then I realized it's like a little district or something like that.
Yes.
So when you're doing this, right, because you're talking about persons that are still unhoused. Right? And one of the things with the conference that, you were like, okay, come to the conference, pay to come to the conference. It's a paid conference like every conference is.
Right.
But then persons can do a donation to buy a block.
Right.
And these blocks will be used to basically build back a person's home, one room at a time.
That's right.
Or build a shelter.
A shelter, right.
You know what? I'm messing it up. Tell me what it is. Tell me exactly what the concept is.
Okay, so the Buy a Block campaign is to assist persons who absolutely do not have a house or is in unsafe housing. And all we want to do is to give them a safe room.
A safe room.
Right. So we've identified, of course, a Siloah Basic School because kids need a safe, stable place.
Mm-hmm.
And then we identified 5 persons who are in desperate need right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that they are retired, they worked for their homes, and it's now destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they also have families, because in Siloah you'll have, the mother with the daughter and the grandkids,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we've identified 2 of such persons that need a roof over their heads. Now, even if it's 7 persons that's living in that place,
Mm-hmm.
we can only give them 1 room. But believe me, the 1 room
is a
will
shelter,
do, right? It's a shelter.
Mm-hmm.
This just came to my mind. This one person who didn't have a house, we gave him a tent. So he was living in the tent. Actually, he was sleeping outside on the bare concrete, no roof. So when I saw him, I gave him a tarpaulin. So now he got 2 chairs or something like that, threw the tarpaulin over that. So now he was sleeping on the concrete under the tarpaulin.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we got the sleeping bags, he got a sleeping bag. So now he is in a sleeping bag on the concrete with them. So when we got the tent, we gave him a tent, right? And then that freak storm came.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, the tent is in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Ground got soft. It
blow away.
all went. So now he's like back to square one, per se, because where he was, the ground was too saturated for the tent to be maintained. So I saw him, and he had such a smile on his face. He was there, helping to clean up, because his community service, and he didn't have anywhere to sleep. But he is there every day cleaning up somewhere else. Let me tell you, man, it's very hard to describe the heart and the attitude of the people. But as I said, they don't beg. There was this.
I'm so flabbergasted by that part.
There was this woman, because when we had a health fair last year, August, okay, and August, and then the hurricane came October. So there was this little old lady. She didn't have any kids, no family members. So I remembered her, and I was asking this lady to, because I called her and I said, "Can you help me to find the old lady that was by your house?" Well, it wasn't her house. It was like a business place that I saw her. So she was taking me. I saw this house, right, where everything was gone. It was just the foundation and a chest of drawer opened up, and of course it was like falling out, and the clothes were in there wet. I said, "Oh my gosh, look at this house. It's away from the road, so I wouldn't see it." She said, "That's my house." I said, "That's where you live?" "Yes." She's helping me find somebody so I could give them aid, and she didn't have anywhere to live either. I'm like, "You didn't say anything." And she said, "I know." And I said, "But don't you need anything?" She said, "Whatever you have, I'll accept." That was it. I'm like, it's amazing.
And I keep coming back to, because like I said, we spent those days down there, and it was not until the last day that you shared that, the last moment actually, the last hour of us being there. And people, let me tell you, when I said we were down there, in addition to the conference, we also had, it was kind of like a missions trip.
Yes.
Because we had the doctors that were there giving medical assistance. We had the nurses that came out. We had the dentist. Listen, the little boy. You did hear little boy about?
No.
Them in a pull of teeth.
Oh, Lord.
And him bawling. Me say, "Oh God, them a kill the pitney." Him bawling. And somebody said, "No, them a pulling teeth." So you had dental assistants, and the health fair happened for 2 of the days. Was it
3?
So it happened to 3 days.
Yes.
So I guess it happened before I got there, because I was a little delayed on Tuesday for reasons. So 3 days. So they not only had the conference going, how many? How many?
Village.
How many total people got served so far?
No. I know that one day it was over 116. But that was only by the dentist.
And the dentist was in one section, and the health section was another side.
Right. So
wow, 116 people by the dentist.
Yes, because we had 4 dentists.
I know. Yeah, I saw it was. I have pictures.
Yes. There were our dentist, and then we had a naturopathic physician and his team. We had persons from the Social Development Commission to assist persons to sign up for social benefits, which it's been anyways. We hope that
you know what? At least it's happening now.
Yes,
we're gonna say that.
Yes, it's happening now.
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right,
yeah.
right. And so we had we had lots of services to meet mental health needs, physical needs, dental needs, nutritional needs, and social needs.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and going back, so we have those things. Yeah.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
And spiritual needs, because
we
we had devotion every morning and crusade services
every night.
evening. Yes.
It was great.
Yeah.
So when we talk about buying a block, because I want to come back to that, right?
Yeah.
Because and people, buying a block doesn't mean like buying a block of a street. It's literally buying a block.
A physical block that we'll use
to
put
build
block on top of block with steel, and so on, to build someone a safe structure to live in.
And how much is it to buy a block?
$10 per block.
But a block don't really cost $10.
Right. So the whole concept is the approximate cost to buy the steel and the sand and the cement, etc. That would create the building itself. So
I
when
think
you calculate it, it's about
$10 per block.
Yeah.
So people, that's my ask, right? Because like I tell people all the time, I do mission trip all the time, right? And I can't ask for something that I haven't physically seen myself.
Right.
But my experience being in Jamaica, and the fact that a lot since the hurricane, people are beginning to forget.
Yes.
And we know Jamaica has gotten a lot of money. Trust me, we discussed it at the conference.
Yes, we did.
All right, we discussed it at.
too.
Yeah, we did. Listen, we want some of that Jamaican money, but there are people who have not been touched.
Right.
That are still, for lack of a better word, homeless.
Right.
That are living on the tents.
Right.
In sheds.
Yeah.
We've seen them. They've worked with us. We didn't even know these persons were homeless because they showed up.
Yeah.
They helped to volunteer. They hold my mommy hand when she walking down the listen to me, man, a country with it there, okay?
Yeah.
And they were so happy.
Yes.
They were so happy.
One of the volunteers, actually she was saying it and everyone else was agreeing. She said, "Miss, I'm happy to do this again." She said, "Just knowing that we're not forgotten and seeing you bring all these people, that's a reward." That was reward enough for her, right? Because I was saying, look, volunteering means you don't get paid. It doesn't mean you're not rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
So they said this was reward enough for them, but it was good. So we had volunteers, and of course we have to give them a little something, because they're in need. They need everything you can think of. And one of the other things too I want to throw in there is a lot of the teenagers, they do have periods.
Mm-hmm.
And and it comes once a month, right? And that's one of the things that we try to give out continuously, because they're needed. They're very much needed. What they call it, period poverty, right? And it's happening. It's happening. Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to donate a block,
Right.
or 2 or 3 or 4 or 1,000, we will not put any restrictions on. First of all donations go to parish ground ministry, and it is tax deductible.
It's tax deductible,
right? So if you are trying to look for a great way to donate something tax deductible, and it's going to a great cause to help rebuild persons' homes in Jamaica.
And their lives too.
And their lives,
Yeah.
definitely. How can someone get in touch with Parish Ground Ministry?
Okay, so quick one is the phone number, 561-350-1697.
Okay.
If you call and I don't pick up, please forgive me, but you can send a text. Also, if you're on Facebook, it's Kerry-Ann Carnegie, really. On Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, it's Chad Education, and on YouTube, it's Conversations with Kerry. Some persons ask, why don't you get it separate thing? It's because, we have so many different, and it's the same channel is going through anyways, right? So the phone number, 561-350-1697. Conversations with Kerry on YouTube. It's Kerry-Ann Carnegie on Facebook and on LinkedIn. And then it's Chad Education on Instagram.
So everybody know how to reach you now.
Right. And the links are there with exactly how you can make a donation and buy a block.
Buy a block. Yes. All right. So, I know we just wrapped up this year's conference.
Yes.
I know you're going to be planning next year because this is an annual conference that's done.
Yes.
Is it going to be in Siloah next year again or somewhere else?
Well, actually, the people in Siloah is asking for it again.
Yeah.
Yes, and they're like, we'll make the place prettier.
The place look pretty already.
Well, it's because you didn't know Siloah before.
But it looks so pretty.
It looks good.
Okay, so it was even better before the hurricane.
Yes, because you see, for example, the homes, they were in proper order and beautiful. Now, it's like a dunghill.
Okay, you see, because not to knock when me come from down a Maple, but you guys really did an awesome job to make us feel welcome. And, actually what my thought, like I was telling you, that Siloah should really be like a mission tourism.
Yes.
Because people need to see hometown Jamaica again.
Right. Yes.
Especially us Jamaicans who might have left, and when we go home to either the hustle and bustle of Kingston, or we go home to the tourist resort of Montego Bay, St. Anne's, Negril and stuff like that, to go back to like country and see hometown Jamaican and get hometown country cooking.
Yes, it's really good.
I cannot understand how I ate so much last week and came back and lost weight.
That's because you were also walking
I tell you,
laughing.
I laugh, I walk, I laugh, I have fun, I dance, I laugh, I walk, I have fun. I dance, I have fun.
Yeah.
And I lost weight.
Yeah.
I tell you, say, I eat 3 square meals, whole heap of fruit, but like I said, guys, the variety is not there because all the vegetations have not come back as yet. It suck and bag juice and all kind of like, man, let me tell you something. Street food, spur tree, goat soup.
Yes.
Stand up. Okay? I'm going to tell you, Jamaica is not nice. Jamaica is noise.
Yes.
That's my new word. I thought,
it
noise. All
yes.
right? Jamaica is noise.
Yes.
And the people in Siloah made it so welcoming. And I can't wait to see if there's even such a thing, a full recovery. Because based on what you're describing Siloah to be, and my experience, I can only imagine when the persons are up and working and life is vibrant again.
It's beautiful.
Right?
It's beautiful.
But, we talk, and my gosh, we're coming up on another half an hour. So when we come back after the quick break, we'll talk about the global conference and the implications to Jamaica in general.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, Kiki's busy. I want to hear this.
Ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars for the grand opening of Kiki Cuisine on Friday, May 15th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Located at 2755 President Barack Obama Highway in Riviera Beach, Florida. Come out, enjoy the taste of authentic Caribbean and American cuisine. Get a cup of soup on the house with any meal purchase. Super Jams Radio will be in the building from 3 p.m. p.m. to 6 p.m. That's right, Super Jams will be in the building from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Don't miss Soul Food Sundays, a touch of Louisiana, here at Kiki Cuisine in River Beach every Sunday. For more information, call 561-530-4113. That's 561-530-4113. Regular hours are Tuesday through Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hope to see you there at the Kiki Cuisine.
Hold on, caller.
Celebrity Outburst, Saturday, May 23rd, Memorial Weekend. Come celebrate Gonzale's birthday. Featuring the immortal champion sound, along with music by Island Vibes from West Palm Beach, Change the Kid out of Miami, Endless Movements from West Palm Beach, and Zoom Up from West Palm Beach, hosted by Matt Roach from Orlando. Come celebrate Gonzale's birthday. Celebrity Outburst, the Black Eclipse Edition, Saturday, May 23rd. Party time from 11 p.m. until at Hillshire Sports Bar, 5780 Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. General admission $20 before 1 a.m. So reach out early and catch your vibes of Stone and Celebrity Outburst. Stores open at 11 p.m.
Hold on, caller. Just hold on. Okay, so we are back in the studio, and we had a caller just came in on the line. So caller, go ahead. You're live. Caller that just called, if you can just call back and go ahead. We're off of commercial break, so you can call back in, caller. That was just on the air. Okay, so before we went on break, we spoke a lot about Siloah, what we wanted to do for Siloah, but in the context of the conference, a lot of the conversation we spoke about had to do with Jamaica in general, right? We spoke about the infrastructure. So first of all, before we even go into this, you had some heavy hitters. Like, you had some heavy hitter presenters at the conference, yeah, right? Yeah. We had everyone from investment companies. Yeah. We had the military speaking about the mental health and the crime, right, that's happening in Jamaica. We had persons speaking about infrastructure. We had architect talking about how to build, yeah, a more sustainable home, right, so that, you know, we see major hurricanes happening every 37 years, people in Jamaica. Yes. But in between the 37 years, how can we build our homes to make sure that if we have another situation like this, we have a better chance of surviving? So building back stronger, right? And better. We also had persons speaking about the healthcare, right, in Jamaica and the challenges with the healthcare in Jamaica, right? So we had it was not just about the hurricane, because right, this conference was planned pre-Hurricane Melissa.
That's right.
It just happened. The only thing Melissa really did, is change the venue, right? Yeah. So you had all these powerhouses on a global level that was coming to speak to Jamaica. You know what I loved also? The young man that did the research, that came to Jamaica and did the research on the generator and carbon monoxide. And this is what, I had no idea that so many deaths were caused after Melissa from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yes.
That was a staggering for me,
yeah,
and he came and he did the research, right, around, based on the fact that there were deaths that were happening, right, and did the research. But what he did was he went to the people, yes, and spoke to the people about the whys, right, and then the fact that his research, he's making it available, right, to the country, right, so that persons can be educated.
Right. And it's so funny because my aunt, that was one of the things, because she said, when I went to tell her goodbye, she was hugging me and she said, and I just cannot get this out of my head. we're so careless with it. You know, I didn't realize I didn't know. She did not realize she did not have so much information and how, you know, even us
Right.
put our lives at risk with the generator use. You know, and because yes, there are times when we felt dizzy and so on, but even me, I was like, mighty God,
You could have not been here right now.
even I lacked some essential information. I think his presentation was the most shocking
Yes.
for people because it's really a life and death scenario that he brought to us.
And you know, the fact that he went and asked persons the why,
Right.
you know, and we know first of all, I completely was, you know, that carbon monoxide kill people. You know, you hear about it after hurricanes.
Right.
But when he gave the numbers of the amount of deaths
Yes.
post Melissa that was directly related to carbon monoxide poisoning, because no one was thinking about it, no one was talking about it.
Right.
We talk about the hurricane deaths from the actual hurricane.
Right.
We talk about the deaths in the hospital because of lack of access.
Right.
But no one spoke about that. Was the first that I've heard it since Melissa.
Yes.
Right? And for him to come all the way from England, and did this whole research and, you know, run the numbers, run the data, and then, so people, what he's done is the information from the research, he's giving it to the companies that sell generators so that persons, when they're purchasing, will have the knowledge.
Right.
And the fire brigade basically has endorsed it, stamped it, put their markings on it. And he's doing this for free for people in the island.
Yes.
Right? This is what the diaspora, you know, the Prime Minister said, come back and build Jamaica.
Yes.
This is a part of what it is.
Yes.
Bringing your talents and your, you know, your ideas and your information and your skills back to the island to build the island. And you did that this week.
Thank
You know?
And he gave away 60 carbon monoxide detectors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Gave away carbon monoxide detectors. So, and he gave it to persons who were truly in need through the fire department and the school. So they identified those in the community that were truly in need and gave those away. Right. So these are the little things, guys. It doesn't have to be this big thing that you do, right? But find a little thing that you can do to help Jamaica. So we're looking at another conference next year. Like I tell you, I said, like, I think Siloah should be if Appleton comes back, definitely Appleton comes back, right? I can't believe it. I should have bought some Appleton rum. No. Now I'm thinking, I'm in the airport and I did not buy Appleton rum. I should have bought some Appleton rum, right? Because it may be a commodity in the future. You know, but I really think that, in my opinion, you know, I told you already, Siloah should be one of those stops on tourists that people go to when they come off the ship. Because I mean, if they're gonna take it all the way to Appleton, Siloah is right around the corner from there. And there's a lot of things in Siloah, like you were mentioning, the Blue Hole, the
there's Mystic, where you can do off-roading and rock climbing, etc.
Right.
We have hiking. We have in surrounding areas like Noisy River, Breadnut Valley. So lots of things to do. And brought a backyard poetry. And of course, Salas at the estate.
Salas at the estate with the good food. So people, let me tell you, so we mentioned Salas at the estate with the good food because they fed us for 3 days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Brought a backyard with the poetry. Let me not forget Pure Honey. That I had to bring up a bottle of Pure Honey with me. You know, all the taxi drivers that took us back and forth. Big up Steve Morrison out of Clarendon.
And Michael.
And Clive. Let me tell you about Safe Taxi Ride. You know, let us not forget Dalton with Dr. Docs.
Dr. Docs.
Listen, Dr. Docs came to the Docs rescued us.
Yes, 5-star Airbnb on Spur Tree.
Listen,
up.
5-star, because we weren't supposed to be at Dr. Docs at all, okay?
No, yeah.
And there was no way we could go back and forth every day from Clarendon to Siloah.
That's right.
It would have been a rough one. And Dr. Docs saved the day.
Yes.
Right? Dr. Docs totally saved the day.
Yes. And it's so beautiful.
Dr. Docs beautiful.
Man, I tell you.
Listen.
And the scenery.
Listen, let me tell you something. I don't think Dr. Docs is listening, so maybe you need to play it for him. Just say, Dr. Docs, thank you for opening up your beautiful hacienda for us.
Yes,
No, your beautiful mommy's hacienda for us.
Yes.
And everything was just superb. Right? So you heard when the next day I went up to mommy and I said to her, hey mommy, like I'm gonna have to make a list of rules for him.
Yes.
Because if we need rules. You can't open your home to strangers without rules, right?
Yes.
And then I said, mommy, like he had those beers on the counter and all those alcohol. I don't know if you saw all the alcohol in the chest. No, and oh yes, honey. Women tell Appleton, okay? And I'm like, we weren't sure if we should drink it. She said, oh no, he wouldn't be happy. It's for you. I said, no, we have got to make some rules for Dr. Docs.
Yes.
So, all those, like Salas, the great people, the school that accommodated us.
Siloah Primary School.
Mr.
Larman.
Yes. Oh, let me tell you something about that. Yeah. And I know the greenhouse was completely destroyed.
Yes.
But did you see let me tell you, the primary school farm.
Yes.
I was so impressed that this man have these primary school kids learning about farming and agriculture and things. Because me tell you, some of them pick me up. Like I have to be asking, like, why this new generation so lazy? Yeah. So much land and them not farming. Yeah. So when I saw the primary school farm and the greenhouse that's completely damaged.
Yes, we need to get the greenhouse back.
Yeah. It was just absolutely, I was just in awe of everything that I fell in love with Siloah. Yeah. When I tell you I fell in love with the place, I fell in love with the place. It gave me hope for Jamaica.
Yeah. They use the word resilient a lot. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, they surprised me too, because I'm like, they wake up every day and they do something. Mm-hmm. They do not have any money. Sometimes, because I was speaking to one of the ladies, and she said, Miss, sometimes she doesn't eat and so on, but she's still smiling. There was one day when I called my sister and I said to her, do we have anything in the house? Because, we gave back a lot. We had like a couple shipments go down with food, clothes, tarp, bedding, and so on. And food, and this lady came to my mind, and I'm not sure why, and I said, can you just put us something together and bring it to her? The lady called me, and she was silent for a while, and she said her food had run out, and she did not want to go and ask anybody anything. So she was willing to sit there and go without food before, as you said, they don't beg. They don't beg, they don't ask. So I said, well, enjoy it, and, we're thinking about you, so, yeah.
So what does the future hold for Siloah? What does Kerry see in the future for Siloah?
Well, in speaking with the people of Siloah, what they want is industry back. And we looked at, okay, what does industry look like? Because, the Appleton, we have no control over the Appleton. But there's a gentleman there that has a block factory that has been sitting down. So, and then we have persons who work in construction, etc. And then we have people who cook food, and the food is great, right? And then we have servers. So we could start there. So every block that you buy and every block that we put up, it means the block factory gets back into doing work, the construction workers get to build. They get money to buy food, so like people like Siloah and Annie's restaurant can operate, and they can hire people to cook the food and to serve.
Right.
You know, so even that one. So that's where we want to start.
Okay.
All right. So we are not trying to do everything all at once. So buy a block, and that will have that in itself. You're not housing people, only housing persons, but you're also stimulating the economy.
The economy.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you have it, people. So conversations with Kerry with a twist, because usually with conversations with Kerry, you're on Kerry's platform.
Yes,
right?
Yes, yes.
And now Kerry's on my platform.
That's right.
So with conversations with Kerry, and yes, we're speaking about Siloah, Jamaica, but Siloah, Jamaica could be anywhere, middle Jamaica, in Cornwall, that got damaged by Hurricane Melissa. This is one community that's there that got damaged, haven't gotten the resources that we see in the likes of Black River and so on. But as a community together, this community is working to rebuild their community on nothing, because they've lost their industry. It's a farming community. They've lost the farm, even though green's coming back, but it's going to take a while. Unless it's a quick crop, it's going to take a while. And from what I saw, there was a lot of water. The area is not dried out as yet. You're driving on both sides of the roads. You're seeing puddles of lake and swamps where, you know, it used to be dry ground. So that's not there anymore. And even with driving, like the waterway is coming across the road in certain areas. So you know that it's going to be, you know, a long term for these farmers. And you know, the industry's completely gone. And when I tell you, people, that it's the first I've been to a place in Jamaica where persons were not begging. And it was so good to see. You know, I honestly think that it should be like a tourist spot. And the way those kids were dancing and going in with them up perform for it, right? It definitely should be a spot that is highlighted and featured. And you think about it, you know, if Appleton is right there and persons are coming for the rum tour, it's literally right. I did not realize it was so close. It was right around the corner.
It's a little less than a mile.
I know. No, that we went the backside. Because you see, it was navigating different routes because of the rain. Right. Like, for example, when we were going down one night, I actually told Uncle not to come back that direction, because Uncle would bring us down and then come back. And when we're going down, we're like, Uncle, you cannot come back this way. So you won't have to go the long way, Uncle. And then when Cousin came for us the morning, Cousin went a different way, because Cousin knew that route wasn't. I don't know if he had attempted to pass it and couldn't pass it and had to, you know, reroute and so on. So, you know, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. But in general, a lot is going on in Jamaica. There needs to be a lot of recovery. I can tell you, after I left Siloah, I went to a project that I'm doing. And I was a little disappointed, because I learned that, you know, the initial for what we wanted to do, once it got evaluated, it's not safe to do that anymore. And it's for our old people, right? And as you know, I'm in the old people's industry. And that's why that project was near and dear to me. But from a cost perspective, that's going to take some of them big boy money that Jamaica get, right? I don't know when that big boy money is going to get to them.
We don't know. They're still trying to thrash it out.
Nara is there, so hopefully they thrash it out very decent and in order. but it's needed, because when you go to the, one of the things I learned, even within your conference, the discussion occurred that when we say, go to the hospital and a person is waiting for 3 days to get a bed,
Right.
it may not necessarily mean that there's not a physical bed, because typically in our head we're like, how could you be waiting for 3 days to get a bed? And in my head I'm thinking, okay, we need to buy more beds for Jamaica and stuff like that. And then I realized that it's more than just having the physical bed.
Yes.
It's having the space,
Right.
because the population of the hospitals have grown.
Right.
The chronic illnesses
Our,
has gone up.
yes. Yes.
So you don't even even if you had a bed, you don't have the space to put a bed.
That's right.
So you have people sitting outside waiting for a bed to become available, meaning they're waiting for somebody to either dead or leave the hospital to go into that bed.
Right.
That is what we're dealing with right now in Jamaica. So
And remembering that the Black River is
destroyed.
Right. So the people who would go to the Black River Hospital
are going
now
elsewhere.
have to- right.
They're going elsewhere.
So it's putting additional pressure on those.
Other hospitals, and that's what we're dealing with. So once I learned that project is a no-go at the moment, at least it's a bigger lift than my little not-for-profit can do. But still, the pediatrics, there's a pediatric space that has absolutely no beds in there.
Oh, wow.
And I said, okay, we can try to outfit this hospital, the pediatric, the isolation for the sick kids,
Right.
pediatric unit that has absolutely no beds in there. Yes. And then as I was speaking to, I spoke to the nurses, because I have the list of needs for the hospital,
Yeah.
but that comes from administration.
Yes. Yes.
So as we're there touring, I wanted to get the needs from the nurses.
Yes.
Because one of the things I learned from your lady, who was the head of the Nurses Association, what's her name again?
This is Dawn Marie Richards.
Dawn Marie Richards.
Yes.
Is that the nurse? We always say the Jamaican nurses are not doing anything and they watch people die. But what she brought back home to me is that a lot of the supplies they're having to use in the hospital, they're having to purchase it themselves.
Yeah. It's,
And I can tell you, I have a trailer load of stuff to send down. I finally got the clearance from the ministry to send them. Right? So I couldn't send them before I left because I was leaving when I got the clearance. But over the next 2 weeks, my intention, I'm hoping to ship by next week. And a lot of the things, like have to do with the nurses' needs, the things that the nurses would be buying for them, would be buying to take care of the patients out of their own pockets, right? And but I went to them and I was asking, what do you need for your unit? At first I said, give me 2 things you need for your unit.
yeah.
And them think real hard, because they're like, we have to make it good.
Yes.
We have to make it real good. And then I expanded it to 4 things they needed for the unit. And so I have a list of items, but today we're talking about your project and Siloah. Next week, I'll come back to enough of what we need for my unit.
It's all interconnected because
Absolutely.
it's a healthcare conference, and as you said, these things were brought out in the conference. So we were looking at mental health, and we looked at mental health from not just the patient's perspective, but the caregivers and the teacher's perspective. What are they doing now? A teacher explained to me, I told her there was a freak storm afterwards. She said during the freak storm, all the students got up and ran to her.
Scared.
And she was there, she was frightened. But as the kids were coming to her, she realized that she had to pause and deal with their anxieties. And then when she got home, she had to deal with hers. So that's vicarious trauma. So we spoke about that as well. On day one of the conference, it started with a mother's love question sign, and people in the conference were crying.
Really? See, I missed the top part of day 1, because I came late.
Yes, they were crying because parents were now considering their role, how they related with their kids, And there were children who were now identifying, yes, that's happening with me and my parents. And there was actually a young lady that got up to say, exactly how this affected her and reflected on her relationship with her parents and then other people around her. And then afterwards, she said she felt like a weight lifted off her chest, off her shoulders, and off her mind. And she was smiling for the rest of the time. So,
Right.
so the start of the conference, from the very beginning, brought healing. You were there at the end, right? Did you fall in love at the end of day one?
Day one, and I was there thinking, oh my God, what did I miss? Because at the end of it, it was so. You know what was powerful for me? When Saji give the resources for mental health and mental illness in Jamaica. And guys, I'm gonna get you out the information if you have family members and loved ones in Jamaica, because people are listening to us in Jamaica as well, right?
Awesome.
On the app and on the internet. I'm gonna get you the information, because there's information I did not even know existed. From the suicide line to if you're having some mental health crises, how to get assistance for mental health, mental illness, and all those numbers that are available to our people, right? And I wonder how many persons know that it actually exists, that you can reach out and touch a friend, right? And get the help that you need. So I think that was so important that he shared those resources. Because I have a friend that's a psychiatrist in Jamaica. And I remember years ago when he was doing something and he was talking about, the fact that he's doing this and persons are not paying attention to the fact that they need mental health. But I think now with all the crime, persons are more looking at it. And when I tell you the CEO for Bellevue Hospital, right? I just love what she does because she makes mental illness so hilarious that as you're laughing along with her, she's guiding you how to get assistance. The things that you just take for granted, like a breakup or a cheating or something like that, and not realizing how it affects you. But here is the CEO for Bellevue Hospital, the largest mental health hospital in the Caribbean, okay? And she is using her platform to educate in a comedic way. She is hilarious about mental health and mental illness and just the simple little things we take for granted. And then hearing Sarge talking about I'm mad, right? Not realizing that a good medication, a lot of mad people in America. You and I work in healthcare over here, and we know our functioning schizophrenic, bipolar, schizophrenic persons who, because we don't have the resource in Jamaica, is the man walking on the street, picking up the garbage, eating the garbage, living outside and stuff like that, right? And Kerry, I must honestly say, I don't even understand where the time has gone, because the show is literally ending in 45 seconds.
Oh, Jesus. Well, connect with us online. Conversations with Kerry, and of course, Super Jams is always there, so you can get the information there on the app as well.
So, and I'm going to drop in the chat the resources that we received on mental health. Because for nothing else, share that with your loved ones and your families back home in Jamaica, because it is there, right? And I'm going to drop your telephone number as well in the chat if anyone wants to reach out to you. So people, we have 10 seconds left to go. We don't even have time for a moment in Black history. But I think this entire show has been a moment in Black history, because history was made in Siloah. Good night. Oh my gosh, we are out of time.